I first came to Ghent the day after spending 3 days at the Tomorrowland festival. I was looking for a nice walkable city with lots of history and fun activities, all in a quiet setting. But as soon as I arrived, I was met with this. And I hadn't even made it to my hotel yet. Little did I know, the annual Ghent Festival is on the same week. It's a lot of fun, but also very busy, so you'll have to use your imagination for what this usually quiet, medieval city would look like without the big street party that happens for 10 days every July. But it doesn't lose any of its charm, it's just busier and louder. The best place to start and finish a walking tour around the Old Town is St. Michael's Bridge. If you stand in the middle, you can see all 3 of Ghent's famous medieval towers in a row. These are St. Nicholas's Church, the Belfry, and way up the back there is St. Barvo's Cathedral. In the opposite direction is St. Michael's Church, which hugs the Ley River. We'll come back to this spot later on. But first, we're headed into the busy streets, past a row of great restaurants, towards the Belfry, which is in between the other 2 towers I mentioned earlier, so I figured it would be the best place to check out the view. The structure is over 700 years old, so there are a lot of stairs to cover. It was not built with tourists in mind, so you have to be a bit patient getting to the top. But the reward is well worth it, with uninterrupted views on all 4 sides of the tower. And just on the other side of that square down there is St. Barvo's Cathedral. So this must be the square that was absolutely pumping last night. Now the question I'm asking myself is it really worth climbing a hell of a lot more stairs to go from that balcony to the top of that? I don't think so. The cathedral is better known for housing the famous artwork called the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, or the Ghent altarpiece, which claims to be the most stolen artwork of all time. While you can walk around inside free of charge, the altar is in a different section that will require an extra ticket. If you'd prefer to just climb the tower, well, apparently it's not open to the public all year round, with access generally restricted to the Ghent Festival period. We're now going to head downhill towards Vrijdemacht, which translates to Friday Market, which is much easier to say. On the way there, you can take the main streets and enjoy the incredible architecture, or the back alley known as Graffiti Street. Now this space is usually an open town square with lots of room to move, but during festival time there is a full-on carnival in progress every day, which isn't really my thing, but just on the other side of this area is a bridge to what I think is the nicest part of the old town. Starting with Zuivelbrug, which I think has the prettiest view in town. The restaurant deck that leads underneath the overhanging trees, with the buildings hugging the river on both sides, is just a postcard perfect view. But there's no quiet solitude at festival time to enjoy it unless you get up early in the morning. On the other side of the river, the buildings are noticeably older in their presentation. Perhaps this is only because they're not directly facing the busier areas, but either way, I thought this was an incredible stretch of road to explore. And when you come out the other side of this, you'll be face to face with the Castle of the Counts. Alongside another fork in the river is Gravensteen Castle. It's 900 years old and is the only remaining medieval castle in the Flanders region, with its moat and defence system largely intact. even if you're just passing by, the view from the adjacent bridge is stunning, with the water and castle creating a beautiful setting. But if you have time, I'd encourage you to take the self-guided tour inside, where you'll find an interesting his and her bathroom with a strange story behind it, a torture museum, and some of the nicest views of the city at the highest point of the castle. I've done a full video on this, which is on screen now if you want a more detailed look behind the walls. Following the water's edge, and we're nearly back where we started at St Michael's Bridge and the waterfront areas of Graslei and Korenlei. This is the old harbour of Ghent and features a row of old guild houses along the water's edge, which was once a major hub for European trade for about 500 years. These days, you'll see boat after boat of visitors taking tours up and down the river. And of course, given the festival is on, there's a big stage also sitting on the water with bars and restaurants everywhere. If you go past St Michael's Bridge, there are some more back alleys with some street art to check out if that's your thing. But I was in the mood to rest and sample a local sweet treat called Au Merveilleux. It's a traditional cake that is made from a combination of meringue and whipped cream with a range of toppings to choose from. Kind of like a chocolate mousse with chocolate coating on the outside. I'll try the lemon. Very lemony, same texture. I really wish I bought a coffee to have with it now. Very desserty, but very nice. Another dish to try out while in town is a rich beef stew that is a traditional local dish and is ideal for dunking fries in. Plus, of course, you can't leave without having a few waffles. I've always wanted to try my hand at making Belgian chocolates, and what better way to do so than pairing it with beer tastings throughout the process. We spent a morning doing just that, and a video will be coming to the channel soon. So if you're interested in that and the rest of my Belgian road trip, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, back to the festival. This happens every year for 10 days in mid-July, and it really changes the face of the city for that period. The afternoons and evenings are very busy with crowds congregating around the various free concerts, theatres, street performers, bars, and carnival areas. In the morning, the city is very quiet, but it's a bit messy with a lot of rubbish around from the festivities the night before. I would love to come back one day to see the quieter version of the city, but the festival is a lot of fun, so don't shy away from it if that's your only time window to visit Ghent.